Hello, everyone. Just put those in. Welcome to the Friday live stream. Another horror watch, another first time horror watch. This is going to be Lake Mungo, which is on Shudder, Shudder UK. So nice and easy to find, I would think. From 2010. Welcome to the new channel members. I'm not quite sure who you are yet because he hasn't told me, he hasn't popped up. Not sure why it used to, but anyway. I don't know much about. Okay. I don't know much about this movie, but I've heard the title before. So one that's worth a watch. We'll start in a couple of minutes. By the way, there's for channel members, there's a Running Man stream planned for Tuesday. The original Running Man, of course. The 80s, ahead of the new one. It should be this week. If it's not this week, it will be next week. But well, technically, it's next week. But if it's not that week, it will be the week after. Is what I'm saying. Hey Clement, how are you? Welcome. Gonna start the movie in a moment. Got Fleck earlier and then Clement. It's weird how it doesn't tell me who the channel members are. I don't know if it's just an updating thing. Oh. Mm-mm. Right. Okay, I'm gonna make a start on the movie. Lake Mungo, which is on Shudder, like I said, in the UK anyway. Australian movie from 2010. And go. Shouldn't be any ads for me since it's on Shudder. After Dark Films. That's a great film company name.
I feel like something bad is going to happen to me. I feel like something bad has happened. Has raised me and put me on this way.
I always think of Mungo Jerry when I hear Mungo. Or maybe Mungo McMichael. Steve Mungo McMichael, the ex-footballer and wrestler.
She kept secrets a secret.
Based on a true story, don't you know?
The normally tranquil setting of Ararat's Norval Dam was shattered yesterday with the disappearance of 16-year-old Alice Palmer with her family.
We received a call around 6 p.m. tonight of a missing girl, and I'm discovering the name.
I don't know actually. It's done in that style. Sort of done in like the docu drama style. So it could just be for effect. It might not actually be based on a true story. It could be one of those horror things though, where it's very loosely based on truth.
I remember meeting her then. And a few minutes later, I heard him ask where was Alice.
and looked out across the dam, and the water was completely still. So I called out.
I looked out over the water to see if I could see her. And both the boys had kind of checked, the bushland behind.
I could see Alice's towel. She left it on the ground, and she clearly hadn't got out of the water because then she would have picked up her towel. So
I don't really know. I don't know much about it. Lake Mungo is a real lake. So I'm guessing by the looks of it, someone went missing there, and that's going to be the horror plot.
Police continue to hold grave fears for 16-year-old Alice Palmer, who disappeared while visiting with her family. Police search and rescue dive.
we were told to go home, and if the search and rescue divers found anything, then they let us know immediately.
Felt very strange in the car on the way home because there was one empty seat. 1 minute she was there and then gone.
Went back to stay with the Palmers that night. We were just mostly waiting for news, for bad news. There was that expectation.
We got a call from Russell on his mobile at 9 o'clock at night, and he'd said there'd been an accident at the window and Alice had gone missing. So we thought probably they'd go to our rest.
I remember Jim was a bit funny about seeing Iris, that there was a strange feeling between them.
It felt a little strange having my mother there.
Bam, bam, bam.
Just didn't feel like the right order of things. There was an awful night.
Worst night of our lives.
I went into Alice's room later that night, and her phone went off a couple of times, but I didn't answer it. I remember her bed was made. I remember thinking how neat everything looked.
I got a call from Alice's mum, June. She said that Alice was missing and presumably she drowned. And I didn't not believe her, but I don't know. It was kind of hard to take. So I actually called Alice's mobile. I just don't want to see that. Hope it was a joke or something.
A real shock. Just didn't really feel like it was real. Everything was the same as always, but people were saying Alice had drowned.
I believe it was from that night that stand out. I remember we had the porch light on. Still two actually, just in case. And why's that? Just in case she comes home, I guess.
SARS divers located Alice's body approximately 9:05 p.m. They used sonar to locate her. She drifted some way and come to rest on a shelf at the bottom of the stormwater system in the dam. Obviously, contacted the family immediately.
As soon as we were told that they found the body, Jen and I went down to the dam to come over and pick that company. It was all very official and formal and signing statement.
Maybe this. I'm going to look this up because.
And yeah, on reflection, I think that was a mistake because she didn't have any closure.
I assumed it was an actual film, but maybe it is a documentary. Lake Mungo, 2008. That should be it.
And I thought that was my responsibility as Ellie's dad, you know.
Oh no, it is a film. I guess it's, done in this sort of documentary style. Found footage.
The car's still on the way back from the dam. But the only year so we've taken the town in reverse, which was either that or walk. Given everything that had happened, seemed like their option then.
The autopsy was performed.
So I don't think it is based on a true story. To answer your question.
Released the body on Tuesday, 28th. It's very strange. Spending Christmas Day with the family up there. I let us lay alone in the hall.
I don't know, it's just like I hadn't seen her for a week or anything, like, yeah, it didn't feel real.
Death takes everything eventually. It's the meanest, dumbest machine there is, and it just keeps coming and it doesn't care. There's nothing else to know about it, really.
It was a somber day for the family and friends of Alice Palmer, who gathered to pay their final respects to a young woman taken too soon. She was a great person, very popular, clever, lovely. Alice is remembered as a happy, fun-loving girl with a zest for life, described as always putting others.
Palmer's really doing it tough at that time. When I think of how bad it was back then, it's hard to imagine how much worse they would get.
Days after Ellie's funeral, so that makes it the 15th of January, stuff started happening around the house. The noises in the roof and sounds coming from outside the window and other movements that seem to come from Ellie's old room. So we rehung the door to Ellie's room and we got a pest controller to come in and check for termites. And I did help it all. Talk kept saying, and we still kept getting the noises from her room.
There was just something new about that house. It had a really strange feeling about it. I can't explain to you what it was exactly, but you go in there and you just have this bad feeling like in your gut.
I started having these nightmares, and they were so distressing that sometimes I just wouldn't want to open my eyes. I I'd woken up, but I didn't want to open my eyes. There was one particular one that was quite vivid and recurring. Alice would come down the hall, still dripping from the dam, and just stand at the foot of our bed, just staring at us. It was quite terrifying. As I said, I didn't want to open my eyes. By early February, my nightmares were getting so bad that I began to go for walks at night, sometimes for hours at a time, just so that I didn't have to go to bed at night and close my eyes and go to sleep. Sometimes I would actually go into people's houses. I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. I guess I really just wanted to be inside someone else's life for a while.
Yeah, Russell was he was working a lot at that point. I think that might have helped him with his grief.
Without any explanation. Russell and I met actually on the Gippsland Catchment Project in '98 and worked together on that.
So you guys have known each other for a few years.
Yeah, good few years, yeah.
Do you remember how this affected after Alice's death? What changed?
It was work as normal and that was troubling actually. I didn't really know what to say to him about that.
You never spoke about it.
Not really. Everyone grieves in their own way, and it wasn't really my place to be telling him how to feel. But I certainly was concerned.
I was really grateful that I had my work, and I mean I felt really guilty about that at the time, but you know I just wanted to get on with it. Then one night, like in late February, I came home from work and I was sitting in the kitchen, and I heard a noise coming from Ali's room. So I went into Ali's room, and I don't really know why, but I sort of found myself sitting down in the chair in front of the dresser, and before I could kind of work out what I was doing there, Ali walked in, and she went over to her desk and started sharpening a pencil, and then she looked like she was checking for a text message on her phone. And, I was completely freaked out. She was completely oblivious to my presence. And then I don't know what happened. I must have moved the bed or, squeaked my shoes or something, but she went completely rigid. And I knew then that she knew I was there. And she slowly turned around and she looked me right in the eye, fully for, what felt like forever. And then she just came at me and stood up and said, "Get out, get out." And I just, cut up and went out as fast as I could.
I could hear Russell crying, and he was here in the kitchen. Matthew and I both found him in here, and he was sobbing. He was absolutely inconsolable.
Do you believe Russell when he says he saw those?
Yeah, I do. I believe he saw what he saw, and he's not the kind of man to make something up. So I believe he saw something. Whether it's a real ghost or not, I don't really know. But I'm sure he saw something.
I remember trying to talk to members of the church about how to help June and how to help the Palmers, but there just didn't seem like there was anything we could do. I think part of the reason was because they weren't churchgoers, they didn't have ultimate comfort.
Pardon me.
I don't even know what she believes in. I found myself mostly concerned about Matthew. I guess because those two were always so close. I was worried. I remember he was spending a lot more time alone. Oh, we were all worried about him.
Matthew came in with some unusual bruises on his body. They were unusual in terms of their distribution and depth. We obviously took a history trying to exclude trauma, but there was certainly no history of trauma that he was able to give us. We tested him for vasculitis, and we also excluded any poisoning or toxins in his system. We were unable to turn up anything conclusive, and several weeks after this, the bruises just resolved spontaneously, and we were never able to really establish a cause for them.
My name's Steve Wilkie. I'm Matthew's best friend. I usually stay at Matthew's house 2 or 3 times a week. We started a band together, so we normally play music at my house. Matthew seems a bit quieter, but he was always pretty quiet, so I guess there wasn't really any warning bells going off or anything. Well, I had heard about June going into people's houses, and Matthew never really seemed to want to talk about any of that. I never asked him about any of it.
Hey Cindy, how are you? Welcome.
This time he was starting to pursue it with more passion. Matthew came to me, he was very keen to find out anything about photography, so
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Feel better soon. Yeah, it's okay. Not bad.
Yeah, basically I've taken that same photo, that composition for I think every 3 months for the past 4 years. And it's just a photograph of the backyard, looking out, you can see the hills in the distance. It's just like a little project that I set up for myself when we got here. And what was it?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realise it was done in this documentary style.
It's basically the same shot, but it would appear that Alice is standing against the fence.
So it's a little different than I was expecting. Have you seen it before?
I wouldn't say the move was good, but it was better than before. It was like it gave us sort of something.
I think I've heard of the title before, but then I don't know if that's just because there's a Lake Mungo, a real Lake Mungo. Maybe I've heard of that, but I think I've heard the film title before.
And looked at the dams and the water levels, and I was quite happy, but it was only the following night that it was pointed out to me by my wife that there was something in the background in this northern dam. This image came up.
Oh, okay.
When I first looked at the photograph, I didn't know what to make of it. The image was quite unsettling because it certainly looked like.
I think I'm getting a bit more into it. As long as they're going to use the format for like sort of make it too full on. This feels like a documentary with no real sort of drama to it.
I did know something about Alice that Jim didn't. I'd seen Alice's body. I didn't think she was alive. I mean, she wasn't.
I became convinced that Russell had made a mistake. He himself said that he didn't like anybody anymore.
Jim was so convinced that I made a mistake that I actually started to have doubts myself. I started to think maybe I made my mind up that it was Alice's body before, I looked. And the circumstances were so compelling for me that I decided it was her.
You seen Black Phone 2 yet, Cindy? I still haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to catch up with it when it comes to rental, I think. Waiting for streaming. I think in the US it's already available online for rental, or even digital rental, and then eventually it will go on somewhere for streaming. So I don't think we have to wait too long, because it hasn't done as well, I don't think, as the first movie did.
It was only after they confirmed that it was Alice's body that I realised how much that I had invested in the possibility of the company. I can't see how much I wanted there to have a terrible mistake. Really, really wanted there to have been somebody else in that van on the way and murdered it. Anybody else, it's just almost it was like it's like it was now.
Yeah, I don't know what the equivalent of Peacock will be for us in the UK, but I'm sure it'll go on one of the big streamers here. He's definitely got a good nerdy, spotty teenager look, this guy.
First night, from the bathroom away.
Yeah. very like found footage style.
It was not about that time I decided to speak out the honest way to me. I had heard Ray on the radio over the years, and opinion was quite divided. Some thought he was the real deal, others were unconvinced. Next we had Annie and
Hi, Annie. How are you? My pleasure. What can I do for you? General. No, thank you. I'm going to go in, but I'm trying to spend that money. I'm going to take some more money to the home. Christian, that's late chunks, but I think it's going to make sense of it. Most of what I do is when I'm doing it, the sequel or the dying, which I use probably is better my clients is to allow the possibility that death is not the bitter end, but it's not the full stop. It's a consolation, and I'm quite happy to give them what ends up, the death is up and grabs anyway. There's somebody very close to you, someone you haven't seen before, someone who can come back into your life, someone who will be of great comfort to you. Anyone that fits that bill. Look, I won't lie to you, I can see obstacles ahead of you, but I think that this person who's coming back to you is going to make a great difference and will be of great solace to you.
Thanks.
See you then. Where I come from, someone dies, they walk out all of those in the house, the dead from anything like that. It seems like that will make a difference.
I liked Ray, but there wasn't so much expected. I don't know what I really did expect, but there was nothing kind of spooky about him.
Yeah. Yeah, 32.
Good. I'm just with you honest. I usually videotape my sessions so that they will be reviewed later by the clients, especially when the
I like the way it's photographed. It's very simple but old school, and it's working well for what it is. I guess because it's meant to be 2005, so probably feels still quite, the technology still quite basic. Pardon me.
I wanted everything to you.
opened the door and the food also started to go glasses. Tell me what you think, James.
After it's been right way down the June for his home for dinner and night of the consultation. And you know, completely different society is from all. But doing what would become around here, like stupid, you know, I didn't want to have 15 either. They sort of like, he wasn't really speaking at all. I was on my best behaviour.
A few days later, to the family with all the same deals with the king. I remember lots of them just played out and fused. I think Matthew from Match put his finger on. And he actually filled out the saints and
At the time, I was actually kind of interested, sort of curious. I don't think I was thrilled about the idea, but yeah, I thought it would be interesting. And I suggested we film it, and I recorded it just with our video camera, which is a piece of equipment.
Matthew Woodlawn Tea. That must be a weird Aussie spelling.
I think we all thought that this house was a way to come up with one small at the same time. So after about an hour or so, we did it quick, and it wasn't until the next day that Matthew was reviewing the footage that an image of Alice.
The new footage was completely different to the older footage. For one, it was significantly more detailed, so it was less ambiguous. And it was impossible to dismiss it as a coincidence of shadow play between roles. There was something inexplicable in our house that was different.
I was concerned. This was pretty automated television.
Right on, and set up 3 permanent cameras inside the house, recording in time-lapse definition 24 hours a day.
There'd been a lot of speculation about Ray and what he was doing there. And I mean, when people don't know, then of course there's a lot of talk and a lot of speculation.
I had heard rumours throughout July of video images purporting to be of an apparition in the house. Marcel was sceptical as to their legitimacy.
And
Also,
by David,
But that said, his motivation was professional. Something was happening inside that house.
Yeah. Well, that was my concern, Cindy, as well. And probably if I knew that going in, it was going to be like that, it may not be such an issue. I think you naturally go in thinking, okay, it's just going to be a regular horror movie. But it is quite well done. As it gets further in, I think they're starting to use it more for actual effect. Like, use it for reveals, use it for horror moments. But I know what you mean. I think it is a bit overdone, the talking heads.
It was a couple of months later, when we were looking at footage from Shudder and came across I got right on the computer, and from what looked like a female figure a long way away, close to you can see that it definitely was female. Well, this is where I was when the photo was taken. I was wearing Elsa's jacket, and I looked up my profile and there was a came down to the box, and I didn't want to be photo. So we walked off through the bush. But I didn't see was there was also a couple of men who checked out a bit of the booze. One of those things out there, he got involved in everyone else, everyone like him, so I explained that I was responsible for the music. I was in the way in the bedroom, and I created the little funny backyard and started to use I got two photos, photo of Alice and backyard, and his photo of Alice. Mom kept talking about talking to Alice, and she was really the dad and find the body. And so I did it without evidence of what's going to happen. So I made a photograph. I just used.
No, I've not seen that one yet. It popped up as one of the suggestions as well.
And obviously, the cropped out the edges of the television. Yeah, stop that. So
Where's Poughkeepsie? No, it's New York, isn't it? Poughkeepsie.
It's like a lot of free people. Yeah, I probably didn't get
I'm not so sure. I don't know that I actually, I don't say I don't totally believe what I said, but I just if you really want to
When it all came out, all of these stories, books, women's magazines, a whole lot of fish. I was just thinking, I mean, you know, to protect Maddie, we that's a little bit to protect Ellie's memory. We just didn't have any experience of dealing with all this interesting stuff. It was incredibly personal that people want to make incredibly public.
I think the funnels weren't coping well at all at that point. And things were very bad. There was doing a tough.
This was like the list. Especially today. Just read until that Ellie just think that I don't think she was devastated.
She's an interesting girl. She didn't not get on with June so well. I thought they actually were quite a lot. It was interesting how they could not get on so well.
There's very much a lot of things that was talk a lot after June, but also other things had become clear as well after Alice's death that had produced a sense of private and relationship. Years, still isn't. She keeps to herself a lot, and people that people can
Yeah, I might do, Cindy.
they were like choose to share or not share because
I don't know for sure. I think as you get closer to Christmas, you sort of start to wind down the cinema trips. You know, because it's quite an expensive time of year. And it just depends, really. Nowadays, it's so tempting just to wait for streaming for a lot of them. I've been mixed on these films, really, but you know, I'm sure it's worth watching that one. So I might do. I did go to a screening of Back to the Future the other day, though, for the 40th anniversary. That was fun. It's always fun. Yeah, first time on the big screen for that one, because I'd only ever seen the third one at the cinema, because that was the first one I would have been old enough to see in the cinema, really. Just like
when me and Ray went on the tour, went where they were away, I was sure there was doing something. And obviously, we were away for 3 days. We changed the tapes or anything, so we were looking at the data up footage.
yeah.
And got back on.
Oh, okay.
Second, I was point.
Yeah, that would be good. That's a good one to see at the cinema. I have vivid memories of seeing that when it first came out, and then I have seen it another time at the cinema. I'll have to try and see Die Hard as well in the cinema this year, if I can. Pretty sure I've never seen that on the big screen. It just depends on timing. I think there's at least one cinema near me with a screening of it.
around the corner, I'd probably strongly.
You seem like you might have forgotten. He was not. Somebody
What? She didn't want me to have it. I was feeling really desperate to get that tape. And in moments to they said, I was there. It would have been feeling this year they found out.
I'm glad you couldn't find it. I'm glad it knows it's something. I had a lot of personal feelings with the colours during this time as part of the investigating team kind of like it, with Melissa Tui and family. And initially, we were optimistic that they would be found and charges laid, but unfortunately the leads that we were working with soon dried up and a sort of investigation thought.
So police have got to us with even if it's to his work for, they would get off with suspended check by claiming that the consent was consensual, which was they claim, supported by the video evidence. But it's basically about
So I did. Obviously, I didn't. We wouldn't be going out if I did. It was, I thought we were. I thought it was pretty good.
But there's so many unanswered questions. And why was she involved into the relationship again? Was she motivated? I just don't know. The two is sold their house and moved 6 months after her flight. Alice kept secrets. She kept secrets a secret. Which does change the way that you think somebody is. Because when you realise that it's hiding from the people. And I knew one, Alice, and maybe there was another one that sounded like it. I found Ray's business card to Alice's diary on the page marked 12th of July, 2005.
why we haven't seen Alice.
Can you interpret that?
Perhaps. How do you feel when you wake up from this?
I think that was 2 years ago, wasn't it? The Home Alone stuff.
Alice came to see me 5 months before she died.
I don't think we did that much for last year, just some Christmas themed movies. Me and Rachel did that list. Animation films. Yeah, I haven't decided yet, to be honest. I don't know if there'll be a list. There might just be lots of movie type watches. There may be the odd Christmas type review. We'll see. I suppose we could do that Christmas themed Tales from the Crypt episode on stream.
feel like we could explore more, whatever reasons he had, giving that information to himself, it still felt like a training.
I wanted to help Jen and the family, and I think they wanted me to help them. I wouldn't have been able to do it if they weren't.
Yeah, I think so. Try and get Madison on that stream, since we've been watching lots of Tales from the Crypt together. Yeah, it's the one which is also included in the 70s movie. The same story, I think.
Very troubled person. I don't know why. I don't know why, but why not?
Jason talks about anyway. they had to decide the bottom going up the trip. So they had to give them the clip several times, but they realised what she was doing. She was very anxious.
I mean, did you know all that about Alice?
No. I knew she was going. I knew she was upset. Because that was previous. But I didn't know why she was upset. She didn't say that she was anything, but she didn't really take that seriously at the time. You know, it was like contact, you know, so it was just having a good time, but she got a bit upset.
Comes the group and started drinking by herself. But it was obviously something was stressing her.
We understood from the home that she's fearing something. We had no idea where that tree was. Because of what say from the window. We didn't really want to go during the daytime because, you know, we didn't think it would dig, you know, way through us to it. So we decided to go at night. June and I, after a bit, June said she found something that she pulled out a plastic bag. And inside the plastic bag, so it was Ali's and the watch, mobile phone. The most precious thing buried out here.
Hey Nicholas, how are you?
We didn't know what she
Welcome.
I mean, when you do the video that she did, we didn't know what it was.
Oh, that's suddenly an old looking knocker bag. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
She had a knife. Would you like to tell me a little bit about
I feel like something bad. I feel like something bad has happened. Has punched me up, but it's on its way. It's getting closer. I don't feel ready. Feel like
I recognised the places to the it was the same place of the body that I had up there for it was Ellie's body.
there's
Distorted faces are always quite freaky, I find.
what she saw on
especially when captured on video.
down the hall towards Harris's room. Someone's there. I think someone's coming down the hall towards the sofa.
Do you know who it is? Do you want to do this time?
Okay.
What do you see?
No, Mum.
What's she saying?
She's not saying anything. I don't think she knows I'm there. Alice isn't here.
What's happening else? He's talking to her, is she talking to you?
Oh, she's gone now. She's leaving the room. She's gone.
Open your eyes.
She's going now. She's leaving the room.
I guess so. So how does the Poughkeepsie Files compare, Cindy? Do you prefer that one to this, or do you like this one more? A found footage list at some point would be good, since it's such a big part of horror now. Oh, right, okay. Top 10. Be a tricky one, because there are a lot of generic ones. But then again, there are a few gems as well. Yeah, I always thought Poughkeepsie Files sounded a bit generic. But that might just be because the title sounds generic. Well, maybe I'll watch that one soon. Yeah, I would. That's the gimmick of those films, really. They are found footage. I've only seen the first one of those, though. I'm gonna watch the others. Yeah, a lot of people are quite high on it. Madison's seen it. She didn't like it that much. I guess I'll just watch them in order, so it will take me a while to get to that one. It's a bit of a pain when it's quite a long trilogy at this point. Not trilogy, franchise. And you have to play catch up. Oh, I thought we were going to get a bit more at the end there. Okay. Interesting film. Not completely successful, but pretty solid. Okay, thanks, Cindy. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks, Clement and Fleck and everyone else who dropped in. And there'll be more streams soon. Take care. Feel better, Cindy. See you soon.